Who has
I'm
a
my
different
own
point of
individual.
view. She's
and
allowed to
most
have
Americans
that.
would agree that they want to get rid of fraud and waste.
Yes.
And now you're saying that the greatest accomplishment of
I'm
DOGE
saying it's an
was that
accomplishment.
they've solved IT problems?
And I spoke to another cabinet secretary yesterday who said this has been a, quote, wonderful accelerant.
So what?
This continues. The program
Politicians say
continues.
whatever they say to be able to put on a good face.
Why are you so angry?
What's happening, everybody? I have a couple of Scott Jennings clips from Newsnight that I was unable to cover last week. In the first clip, Scott Jennings has to defend the sacrifices Elon Musk has made to serve his country, as the people that constantly whine about Doge now claim that the agency hasn't done enough. They're unbelievable, aren't they? Before anyone gets pissy that this clip isn't hot off the press, don't fret. It was the weekend. Good news is I'll have a brand new Scott Jennings for you tomorrow. But you'll like this one. Anyway, let's watch Scott Jennings call out one of the whiny panel members for freaking out over nothing, and then have Abby Elliott scold him like a child. So, you know, business as usual. Let's go.
We're getting close to the point where there's a verdict to be had about Doge, and it's not particularly good.
We just think about the so many federal employees who have either been laid off or furloughed, thinking about special and how that plays out in our country. The special need kid in a school who's not sure where their funding is going to come from. The people who are looking for their student loans who are on hold right now because of some game that Elon Musk is playing. And what does he have to show for it at this point? He didn't hit his goal. His stock price is down 33% since he started Doge. And this is just a continuation of the conflicts of interest that we see in this government. A private sector employee trying to play the government like it's his own little plaything, and he's failed both in his day job and his night job.
God forbid, private sector people decide to engage in public service. I guess it's only reserved for the government
so
elite.
sell your stock and do it the right way. Don't have conflicts of interest
on Tesla,
and play poker with the
he
entire
cherry-picked
country.
the stock. Anybody know what it is year over year? It's up 54% year over year. It's done pretty well over the last year.
What is it since
Who
Trump
cares?
was
Year
elected?
over year.
33%.
Year over year. It's up 54%.
Obviously cares. That's why
It's
they're
lost
looking for a new
significant
CEO.
value.
No, they're
So, I mean,
starting a
so look.
process of thinking of maybe looking for a new CEO. Look, let me tell you.
I mean, which is, to be fair,
Let me tell you something.
listen, but I think the point of the story is, just so people understand, the point of the story is that the Tesla board grew so concerned about the performance of the company that he
Yes.
still runs, that they both confronted him about it, and they started looking for a CEO. And Elon actually did not push back on it. And
Right.
he is going back to his company because it does need a full-time CEO, which I think, you know, great for Tesla. But the question, to Dan's point, is what does the rest of the United States government have to show for Elon's time in the
I
government?
actually spoke to a member of the cabinet today, and I asked him point blank.
Was it Elon?
Well, I did talk to Elon today, actually.
Right, yes.
But I spoke to a member of the cabinet, and I said, how has the Doge effort gone in your particular department? I'm just curious. And he said something very interesting to me. He said, you know, apart from all, you know, the press focuses on the programs and the grants and all that, and that's sexy. But, you know, he said the most interesting thing that these guys have been able to do for us is we inherited a massive backlog of things that the previous administration left us, and we were unable to really deal with it because of IT issues. And he said, these guys showed up over here, and they made a huge impact on our IT infrastructure, which then allowed us to clear out a backlog of outstanding issues that we were just having trouble getting to.
So wait, this is now an IT issue? No, wait a minute. Wait a minute.
I mean, so
America
constituent
wanted to
service.
see actual cuts, and now we're going to say
No, he just said they don't. Which is it?
No, I'm saying most Americans actually
No,
did
he
want to
said
see.
he's mad about the
Okay,
cuts.
well, I'm talking as Gretchen Carlson. I'm not
Gretchen
talking as
is a
Dave.
person
okay?
who has
I'm
a
my
different
own
point of view.
individual.
She's
and
allowed to
most
have
Americans
that,
would
yeah.
agree that they want to get rid of fraud and waste.
Yes.
And now you're saying that the greatest accomplishment of
No, I'm
Doge
saying it's an
was that
accomplishment.
they've solved IT problems.
And I spoke to another cabinet secretary yesterday who said this has been a, quote, wonderful accelerant.
So what?
This continues. The
Politicians
program
say
continues.
whatever they say to be able to put on a good
Why are you
face.
so angry?
I'm not angry. I'm frustrated.
you look enraged. I don't
I'm
understand.
frustrated like most Americans
Can I-
because we want to know where the
Gretchen,
cuts are.
Gretchen, let me just hit pause here. I mean, look. People get worked up at this table,
Yes.
you yourself included, all the time. Let's not
Thank
call
you.
people
I don't
angry
get
when
worked up
they're
all the
simply
time.
making a point.
Well, she's
okay?
very upset.
Like I just have to say that because I think that
you're blaming it
it's-
on IT.
Let's deal with.
I'm not blaming
let's deal
anything.
with
I'm
the-
saying it was a good byproduct
Scott
of what
and
they
Gretchen,
did.
just give me 1 second, okay? Let's deal with the issues at hand. We don't have to, you know, say you're angry. You're, you know, this. She's just making a point, okay?
Thank you.
What
Unfortunately.
the hell is she frustrated about? Scott rarely gets worked up. He only responds when people inevitably attack him or freak out like this lady just did. You notice how they've shut up about Doge? Because even the liberal mainstream media knows there's nothing there to really complain about. Even the lady that just got all emotional and made a big scene is pretending like she's upset about Doge. But did you hear her articulate any truly substantive comments? I still have yet to hear from a single American that they've been affected one bit by these cuts made for these. I still have yet to hear from a single American that they've been affected by the cuts made to these essential services that were going to cripple the country. And you know, if essential services had stopped and there was even one solo story about a special needs child not receiving funding, you know it would be a headline story on CNN and MSCCP. See what I did there? I was about to list all of Doge's accomplishments, but you all know that lady's a dope, and I know you want me to get back to the video. So this next clip is a fun one. Scott Jennings and the panel discuss Tim Walz, and we get a rare, big laugh from the normally stoic Shermichael after Scott makes a joke. Check it out.
But I also was on the ticket, quite honestly, because I could code talk to white guys watching football, fixing their truck, doing that I could put them at ease. I was the permission structure to say, look, you can do this and vote for this. And you look across those swing states, with the exception of Minnesota, we didn't get enough of those votes.
I think that the honest response to that is that was, if that was true, it was an epic miscalculation on the part of the
huge
administration.
Miscalculation. She should have chosen the governor out of Pennsylvania, and we all know why she did not. Because in my personal opinion, I should say, maybe we don't all agree on this, but in my personal opinion, there is a fervor within a certain sector of the Democratic Party, specifically younger voters, who I would say are somewhat anti-Semitic. People may disagree with that, but that's my personal analysis. So she went with Walz. This guy had no outreach whatsoever to white guys that I know who are hunters, who are into sports, who are in the cars. They looked at him and thought he was a doofus. This was a huge miscalculation on the part of the vice president and her team.
I think when your signature move is jazz hands, you're not as up on the white guy code maybe as you think you are. I mean, everything about this guy, from the choice, which was made, I think Shermichael's correct, which was made out of weakness all through his campaign appearances, and now in the aftermath, I just don't think there's ever been anybody in recent political history in over their head more than Tim Walz. And
did you meet Dan Quayle?
It is amazing to me. It is amazing to me. Well, he served a term, did he not?
Yeah, and then lost a second.
It is amazing to me that Democrats elevated this guy and that he continues to believe that he is going to be a leader of this party in 2028. The problems that the Democrats have with middle America, white men, working class men, if this is the road we're going down, the code talker Tim Walz are only going to get worse for Democrats.
There's also something a little condescending about describing it in that way, I have to say.
Well,
we're not aliens. We speak English.
Take out the word white, but as a Minnesota native, we tend to be very honest and forthright. So I think that I understand why he said it in that way. And I have to be honest, when she selected him, that's exactly what I thought. Before he said anything. If you remember, he took the phone call.
That was the rationale.
That was the rationale. He had on the hunter hat, he had on his jeans and his flannel shirt.
And he took reporters on a hunting.
Yeah, but it was a
hunting
whole way to
op.
try and get the working class man to vote for the Democrats. It was.
Look, I think we should focus on the midterms in 2028 right now. Independents have an approval rating of Donald Trump right now, 31%.
Honest question.
That's important.
Look, you lived through this election like the rest of us. Is it good for the Democratic Party for Walz to continue to be such an external messaging leader for the party? I'm obviously dubious. What's your opinion?
I think him as a governor, some of the things that he championed, making sure that every
national spokesman,
have free meals, that they're not hungry during lunch. I think that's a pretty good thing.
Is this the message? Is this the message?
Harris is also going to be speaking in just literally in a few minutes.
Oh, good.
And this is going to be, we'll be talking about it probably tomorrow.
But I'm not sure that, I don't know. I continue hearing folks say that the Democratic Party is leaderless. So I'm not sure that anybody would say Tim Walz is the messaging leader. I think somebody like J.B. Pritzker has probably got much more of leadership. J.B. Pritzker, the governor of Illinois.
Oh gosh,
the governor of Illinois.
Was it Crockett? You said?
No, it's not. I thought you just said it was Walz.
I don't know who it is.
Now it's Crockett.
She's definitely the chairman.
I think that segment speaks for itself. Shermichael and Scott are 100% accurate about Tim Walz. Every single time he opens his mouth, he's an absolute embarrassment. I won't say much else because if you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything at all. Okay, but I will just say he is the opposite of masculine. I mean, if that's what they were going for, the Democrats are more out of touch than I ever imagined. And I didn't think that was possible. Oh yeah, do you guys remember that embarrassing display when he and AOC pretended to play Madden to show us how manly Tim Walz is? You've got to give the Democrats credit. Nothing says manly like a fruit and AOC pretending to play a video game. Keep up the good work, Democrat strategists. That's top of mind for me because I was just reminded of that spectacle the other day on X. Another YouTuber, Audrey, who runs a super funny conservative channel called We Got Receipts, brought something to my attention that I hadn't seen before. After Tim Walz was done playing pretend with AOC, he tweeted, "AOC can run a mean pick six." All right, so for anyone that's watching that's not a sports fan, that's the equivalent to a grown man calling basketball basket hoops. What a man. But what do you guys think of those clips? I think the second one in particular was funny. I think it was good for all of us. We're so used to just being frustrated these whole videos. I needed that laugh. Let me know in the comments. Anyway, that's it for this video. If you like watching videos of Scott Jennings just owning entire panels and the host at CNN, then click on one of the videos that's about to pop up on your screen. Otherwise, as always, I've got the best viewers on the planet. I really appreciate you taking a couple minutes out of your day to watch my video. It means everything to me. Never forget, Jesus loves you. I'll see you guys.